It's certainly one of the most challenging preparations that we've had all year. These guys are really well coached, do a great job on both sides of the ball. This is all about how you finish. What do you choose? What you've done to this point in the season is great, but it really doesn't matter. This is almost like when you get into playoffs, it's a new season. So you really got to be able to stay focused, have, real intensity, real attention to detail, and not just in how you'd like to play in a game, but the habits that you create every day in practice. So we continue to try to emphasize the importance of that with our players. This is the fourth year of the early signing period. Probably a little more challenging this year than in most years because of the absence of being able to have contact. But a lot of people did a really, really good job. We recruit as a team here at Alabama. We get a lot of support in the university community. We get a lot of support in every area of our program, whether it's personal development, academic support, sports medicine, sports science, things that we do to help develop players, whether it's nutrition, coaching staff, whatever it is. And I know that, we spend a tremendous amount of time on Zooms and videos to sort of create relationships that we didn't have the opportunity to create by, normal visits. But we identified the needs that we had in this class early on. I think we, got some really good players at each one of those positions. And, we're really pleased to have this group of players become a part of our program and a part of our team. So we're excited about the future. We're excited about helping them develop personally, academically, and athletically so that they can have more success in life because they were involved in the program here.
Okay, Coach, we're going to start things out with Andy Staples of The Athletic.
Coach, not asking you anything specific about your defense versus their offense or Florida's defense against your offense, but in general, why is it so difficult to defend the wheel route?
Well, the mismatch gets created when the linebacker has the running back, and we call them RNX games where the X kind of picks the mic, and obviously they got some really good backs that can run these routes, and it's a challenge, and you got to really be on the same page of how you're going to try to match the pattern over there. And when you're playing man-to-man, it's a one-on-one matchup, and sometimes you got to navigate your way through where the X is, who's usually running some kind of an in-breaking route. So they've had a lot of success running those routes, and it's going to be a real challenge for us to be able to make sure we identify what we're playing and communicate so everybody's on the same page and give ourselves a chance to be able to defend it.
We'll go to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, Nick, I just wonder if there's any update on Jalen Waddle. There was a video the other day that had people hopeful that he might be coming back this week.
Who? Where'd you get that information? I mean, his rehab is going great. He's out of a cast. He's out of a boot. He walks. He's running on a treadmill. I think he's making good progress day to day. He's not practicing, so I don't know where you get your information from. But, we haven't ruled out the fact that as he continues to develop that, I think he's hopeful that he can come back and play, and we'd love to see him come back and play at some point, but it's certainly not now.
Yes, we'll go to Cecil Hurt next.
Coach, just to touch on something that you mentioned earlier in kind of two parts. How hectic was today when you're trying to both prepare for the biggest game of the year because you're in postseason now and keep updated on your prospects?
Today's difficult when you have a game, this week to really focus that much on recruiting. I think the coaches did a really good job of, preparing for practice, continuing to do the things they needed to do, but stay in contact with all the players. So we didn't have any issues, today in terms of guys that we thought were coming. They all signed and came. I continue to have, Wednesday and Thursday as my, phone call, video setups and all that. So I'll continue to do that tonight. But, you know, it's more difficult, but it's manageable, and we didn't have a lot of guys that were vacillating. These guys, for the most part, have been committed for, you know, quite some time now, and they were very pleased and happy with the decision they made, so we didn't have any issues.
We'll go to Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach. You guys were able to sign 4 wide receivers today. Just what do you like about that group collectively and individually?
Well, you know, I think that sometimes when you have 4 guys like we had, the 2 that went out last year, Jerry and Ruggsy, and the 2 we have this year, you know, Waddle and Smitty, I mean, everybody knows they're on your roster, so it becomes a little bit difficult, and we're probably a little bit thin in numbers, you know, at receiver. And knowing that there's the potential where we'll lose a couple more guys this year, you know, we thought it was really important for us to sign a minimum of 3 wide receivers, and you know, we were happy to get 4. So, you know, these guys are of different types, and you know, I've talked about receiver, the position before. It's kind of like a basketball team. You know, you need a point guard, a shooting guard, a power forward. You need different kinds of players to really make an effective receiving core. And I think we got some big guys, we got some fast guys, so I'm really pleased with that group.
A couple more. We'll go to Brett Hudson.
Are there any more positional needs that y'all have in this recruiting class after what you've done today?
You know, if there's still players out there that are available, and you know, I think you guys know the rules in terms of how many guys we can take. All right, so you know, we'll manage it the best we can, but I think at this point, if we can get a really, really good player, we would certainly be pleased to be able to do that.
Go to Tony, and then we got one follow-up with Charlie to finish things up.
Yeah, Nick, I've got 2. Could you please break down the 2 guys that committed today, Coat and Early?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
The 2 guys that committed today, Coat and Early, or Early, I don't know his name, sorry.
Coach, the kid from Palm Vero Beach, and then Earl, the wide receiver out of Texas.
Yeah, well, we've been recruiting these guys for a long, long time, and I think both guys, you know, started several weeks ago sort of showing a little more interest, maybe not being satisfied with where they were in their recruitment or whatever. So we were pleased and happy to get both those guys. We think they're both really, really good players, really good people, great families. So we're excited about those 2 guys for sure. But you know, you know, those are 2 guys that we've had discussions with in the last, you know, couple weeks that were still up in the air.
And then, you know, when you hear another coach say that they're going to beat you in the recruiting trail, does that give you any extra motivation as a head coach yourself?
No, I don't really. We don't worry about other schools. We don't talk about other schools in recruiting. We don't get stimulated or whatever by what they say or do. You know, we have a process of how we do things here. We got a lot of people who contribute to that process, and it's worked well for us in the past. We try to create a lot of value for players, whether it's in personal development, academic support, and the success they have in developing a career off the field, the success that they have in being able to develop a career on the field. So, you know, those are the things that we sort of try to focus on, is the culture of the program and how it's going to help them be successful and have a chance to be more successful in life. So none of that. Look, I'm not on the internet. I don't hear all that stuff out there, so I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest with you. But so my motivation must be coming from someplace else. And it's because we want to have a good team. We want to continue to have a good team. We want to have character, quality people in our organization who represent our program. And I'm pretty pleased that that's been the case for a long, long time around here.
Coach, and we're going to follow up one last one with Cecil, and we'll be done.
Hi, Coach. Coach. Can we get a practice status update on Christian Harris and Evan Neal this week? Have they kind of
I
overcome?
cannot understand what.
Christian Harris and Evan Neal update.
Yeah, Evan Neal, you know, we're hopeful if he continues to make progress, he will be available for the game. Christian Harris did practice today. I think the thing with Christian Harris will be, does he think he's functional enough to go out there and do his job? But he did everything in practice today, so we'll just have to wait and kind of see. You know, with these injuries, it's kind of day to day. How sore does he get? Is he going to make more progress tomorrow? So, in both those cases, I would say that, you know, those guys are questionable to some degree, but both have a chance to be ready for the game on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.